Hi, it's Vince here again. Now we're going to look at taking some cuttings of some soft fruit. Now this one you can see here, before I go into how to take cuttings, this is an easy way of doing it. Now here you see there's a branch that's come out of the main plant, and what I did was I stuck it in the ground. And as you can see now, we have an enormous root system on this plant already. Yeah, now all I have to do is separate it from its parent, and that is the start of a very healthy jostaberry. I'll just stick it on that pile of grass for a minute. Trouble is, I've got a lot of bulbs coming through here and I don't really want to damage them. There, so you can see that plant's already growing. It's got a root ball and everything. It's ready for my allotment. Now, these are what we call mother trees. I don't grow them for a great deal of fruit, but what they're here for is they're good clones, and I can propagate with them quite easily. Now when I'm propagating, I want a nice clean stem that's reasonably straight for the first, I don't know, the first 20 centimeters, something like that. And then get your bypass secateurs if you've got them. Make sure they're bypass. Even if they're a bit older, they still make a better job. And then cut close to the stem. Now, I've done this at the minute, and you can see that this is my cutting. We'll put him down on the floor so you can see. There. Doesn't look much like a cutting, it's all hard wood. But if we go in close on the stem, you can see that stem has a little bit of a heel on it already. Now all you're going to wait to do now, I won't do it here, do it in the allotment, stick that into the soil right up to 20 centimeters. It should quite easily send out lots of branches and lots more roots. Now I do it because I cover it in landscape fabric first. Just as you've seen in the last video, or the last but one video, in the allotment there is landscape fabric down on cultivated soil, and that will make me a new jostaberry. Now jostaberries are a cross between a blackcurrant and a gooseberry. There, they're a little bit like blackcurrants and a little bit like gooseberries. They do have the occasional thorn, which can be annoying when you want to pick them, but other than that they're quite good. And you can see it a little better on this one. Yeah, so that's the first cutting. Now I like lots of blackcurrants, so I'm going to take lots of cuttings. And by the way, that's not weeds, they're bulbs growing, and you can see you've got a nice plant here. It's growing a nice healthy stem. I won't take that one, that's a bit short to go in the soil. However, if I top this off, then it's not short anymore. That now is an ideal cutting to get me another blackcurrant. Now blackcurrants actually do this without even trying sometimes. And you can see one here. And you can see the base of the plant has all of these nice new shoots growing up. Now they're a little bit awkward, especially they'll get in the way on this mother plant. But I might wait till they're a little bit bigger, and you might find that they've developed roots. And if they haven't, and if you want to develop roots on them, build up the soil level just so it comes over the stool. And then when you take the soil away, you'll find it is full of tiny little roots, and they grow very well. I don't know why more people don't grow them. You can try the same with red currants, and white currants are only a variety of red currant, but yeah, they're great in jam. Okay, soft fruit is the one thing you can grow lots of, and here is a blueberry. Now I'm waiting, you know, if I come over here I'm waiting until we've got a nice big piece of concrete pipe, because this is a soak away. It's from the extension to the house and it fills with water, so I want to make a raised bed on top of it, and in that raised bed is going to sit my blueberry, because the blueberry needs acid soil, which we haven't got here. So you can put in plenty of rotted cow manure if you want to up the fertility of it, but steer clear of lime. So yeah, I'm going to actually have to buy some in to get that soil to make my blueberry fruit really well. And the other thing I've got here, which will fruit well, and that is a fig. So far it's not quite happy yet. It needs to go for another year and then it will start fruiting. You can see the stems, they really like to fruit when the stems get really fat like pencils. And then you know it's happy, it's growing. Otherwise they tend to be quite stunted, like it has been for several years because it's been in a pot. It's coming along nicely. Raspberries you can take from cutting, however we'll do that in another time, because you need a little bit of root with a raspberry. You cannot take just the stem of a raspberry and expect it to grow. So you dig around and find a nice cane, and then you just divide out. So you've got one cane on its own, snip the, because they come from like suckers under the soil, snip its attachment to its parent plant, and then you can plant that. So I can't do that in my method with making little tiny holes in plastic sheeting and then pushing in the shoots as I have been doing with the others. But we can try as neat as I possibly can. The raspberries go on the cardboard boxes, and you'll see them in a previous video. And that way the cardboard boxes after the first year have rotted away, the ground's nice and clean, and then of course your raspberries want to produce other canes. When they produce your other canes, they're the ones that you can fruit on. Okay, that's it for this cuttings taking today, and a little look at our fruit bushes.